So, welcome back to the podcast. We've... I don't think you've been on the podcast before, have you, Andrew?
Nope.
So, you wanna introduce yourself, or...?
I am Andrew. I do Andrew things, and that is what defines me. Back to you, Harrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now we're friends.
Very brief introduction.
But yeah, it's just usual folks, and... Well, Andrew's joining us, and our first topic for today is, the Happy Mask Salesman has been kind of teased to return in a future Zelda game, so... What do you think this could mean?
Majora's Mask 2.
Well,
Realistically, though, I think it's probably they plan on using masks again in another game.
Maybe like a redo sort of game, like Link Between Worlds or something. I don't know.
well,
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it'll become like a staple in the series, like Beetle or something.
Maybe, but it might be like he could return in the Zelda Wii U game, but we don't know how. We don't know.
We could have a Zelda skateboarding simulator.
What?
Please.
I mean, you could do Dynasty Warriors. Why not?
That would be interesting. As Link can already ride a bike and a cart, so somehow.
Maybe it's just gonna be in Hyrule Warriors. I mean, maybe it's a bit too late for that because they already released for Majora's Mask DLC.
Wait a second, how does Mario Kart fit into the Zelda timeline?
It doesn't.
Alternate universe. Nanomachines, that's how.
Are really any of these Mario spin-offs considered canon?
Yes.
Probably. But the Mario timeline, legitimately, is probably more confusing than Zelda because we have no evidence whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know what happens when and, just the order of everything. It's not a split timeline like Zelda, but the stories don't really interconnect with each other, so it just makes it...
They don't need to.
Yeah.
It's just guy saves princess.
If you're trying to make a timeline for the Mario series, it just doesn't really work.
I think it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah. So, what the games just happen when they're actually released? I don't know.
Who knows?
With the exception of Yoshi's Island, because that wouldn't make sense.
Mm.
I think Yoshi's Island is probably the first instance of, any related timeline in the Mario games.
Well, Treasure Tracker goes into 3D World, so we know there's some kind of continuity.
We just don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Nintendo even cares, because Mario has never.
I mean, they probably don't. Mario's never been story based.
Yeah, they
except
don't.
in the RPGs.
Yeah, the RPGs have a pretty decent story. It's never really too complex, but I really enjoy the characters.
Even then, I don't think we know how the RPGs lead into each other.
I like that they bring back some characters in future games. Like you see Popple in Dream Team, and he was in Superstar Saga.
Waiting for Phantasma to come back in anything.
Did he survive in Dream Team?
I think they left it kind of ambiguous as to whether or not he was actually dead. Plus, considering he seems to be a guy made out of nightmares, if he is dead, he could probably come back.
Yeah, the thing with the Forfall, he's pretty much confirmed to be dead. He pretty much just blew up. So
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because a lot of people liked Fopple.
I kind of liked him, but I think he's a little bit overrated. So I just like how much personality are in the RPG games.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they put some of that in the 3D or just the main games in general.
That's probably not gonna happen though. So
they kind of put it in 3D World to some extent, but they still have a long ways to go. So they don't have to exactly put in dialogue or anything, but make the things you do in the game kind of wacky, I guess. To like give it character.
things need to happen.
Yeah, and they kind of do it in 3D World, but again, they still need to expand upon it.
Yeah, I feel like though that when it comes to antics and storylines, they're keeping that pretty much exclusive to RPGs at this point.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. Should we just segue into the Paper Mario thing, because we're just talking about the RPG games?
Sure, I won't have a lot of input here, but I can still talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Can I just put my microphone on mute?
Well, how would you guys want it to be handled? Would you want it like?
Personally, I would
prefer
actually, I would be fine with another Sticker Star style game. A lot of people didn't like that, but like I'm not a big Paper Mario fan, so I didn't really mind it.
I wouldn't.
But
mind...
like realistically, probably it'd be something that's a little bit more feasible. Probably I'd go with more Super Paper Mario than anything else.
I would like to see another Super Paper Mario game, but they'd realistically probably go for the 1,000-Year Door route, because that's just the one everyone loves.
Yeah, 1,000-Year Door. I think I won't have like. Oh, I wouldn't mind like Stora, which is like more like Super, but 1,000-Year Door
the story,
gameplay.
The story,
I really like the most.
No, go on.
But I kind of want to have like a unique mechanic to it as well, like to be RPG gameplay, because 1,000-Year Door I had like in the badges, I believe. I haven't really played the first one in a while. I'm pretty sure 1,000-Year Door I had the badges, right?
But I've only played Super, so I can't say too much. But
I've played a fairly decent amount of Super Paper Mario. I played a bit of Sticker Star, a little bit of 1,000-Year Door, and I have not touched the original.
Yeah, I want to start back to the original and work my way up again.
1,000-Year Door, I'd like some new like gameplay mechanics. I kind of want them to like do that with like the newest one if they make one.
Yeah. So, maybe they can make it so the main mechanics are 1,000-Year Door with some of the game's own ideas, and have like bonus levels, I guess, which have it play like Super. Maybe that could work.
Yeah, I wonder if they could do like a Paper Mario game that for the most part is 1,000-Year Door, but has a couple of sections every once in a while that are Super Paper Mario.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at. It could work. So I really enjoyed Super's style, but I don't think it should be the main focus, because a lot of people were turned off from Super because of that.
Well, it probably would have been if they hadn't called it if they hadn't teased it as actually tried to sell it as a sequel to 1,000-Year Door. I'm willing to bet most people wouldn't have complained.
Well,
my biggest problem with the game is I found the platform to be really like repetitive and kind of like, I don't know, I think like it didn't control like as well as I thought it should have.
Well, the platforming is just like inherently repetitive. You are always jumping.
yeah.
And the controls were fine, at least as far as when I played it.
I don't know, I just felt like wasn't enough variety. It like when you seeing it as like a platform game, I kind of got like bored like halfway through.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. That's kind of a problem when you try to mix a RPG game with a platformer. Because Super wasn't really an RPG at all. It had
RPG elements.
Yeah,
but
it had some elements like leveling up and all that, but nothing major.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons why I liked it. I find more often than not games with RPG elements are better than full-on RPGs.
Wait, for me it kind of depends on the type of mood I'm in or like what game I want to play, because Super is a lot easier to get into, and the other Mario RPGs, like, they require a lot more of your time. So.
I don't know, because we're not really, like, how long was Super? Like, what, 20 hours? Like, the other ones are like 20 hours. Most like you want to do like a lot of side stuff.
Well, I took a long break from Super, and I only beat it. I only beat the story like a year ago.
I still haven't even finished Super Paper Mario. I haven't finished any of them actually.
I still haven't finished Dream Team, actually.
Dream Team is a good game, like all the way through. It's amazing.
I'm stuck in one dream sequence. I don't know if I can do it yet. That's the thing. So I might have to see what's going on with that. Because
This is why I'm happy about the Prima strategy guide.
Well,
I don't know if it was Prima, but it's a strategy guide nonetheless.
I tend to avoid looking at guides for a first playthrough.
I only do it if I am just completely stumped.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have the right moves to get through the dream sequence I'm doing. So if I get completely stuck, then yeah, I'll use a guide. But for the most part, I tend to just stick away from them.
Yeah, I only use them if I am completely stuck.
Yeah, so that pretty much happens when I'm just not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that.
Yeah.
So next topic.
I would just like to see a Paper Mario game, at least for the Wii U's lifespan, because what they've done so far is like have one game per system.
They've had one game for every major system and
Yeah.
also the 3DS.
Which I don't really see the point in releasing, going on the 3DS, because like the handhelds are really like Mario and Luigi's shtick, so it was kind of.
I think they just wanted to see if they could get a Paper Mario game on a handheld console and have it work.
Because the developers are interested in trying to put like a Mario and Luigi game on like a console, but it's not really unanimous.
But then there would be complete chaos. No order anywhere.
I would like to see how they'd handle that.
I wouldn't mind like if it did it like sort of like a camera, like 3D world or something. That would work. I don't know. One thing I kind of want is them to like make like an RPG which is like fully 3D. If you know what I mean. So they haven't really done that yet. It's always been like isometric or like half 3D or something. I might give it like full on 3D a try.
I think they'd probably have to make an entire like different series for that, because Paper Mario kind of loses it if you go into 3D.
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi Dream Team actually uses a lot of 3D models.
Yeah.
I imagine like Mario and Luigi would work for it, but then there's also the Luigi element. Maybe we'll just I don't know, like find Square and just make them make it Super Mario RPG.
Please make Super Mario RPG too.
Oh, Paper Mario 1, I believe, was originally gonna be that. But...
Yeah. Or like
Yeah,
Square
but
or something.
then Square, I think they backed out at the last minute, and Nintendo was like, "Well, shit."
Yeah, in one minigame in Superstar Saga, you can see Gino, which is a pretty nice cameo.
Millions of fans await his actual return.
I don't think it's gonna happen because Square owns him, so.
Gina can come back in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
One can dream.
That is possible.
That's true.
That is possible.
Is actually possible. That'd be so bizarre.
Personally, I'm still waiting. Personally, I'm still waiting for the Star Wars world.
Yeah, I can see Gino returning in some way, just not on a Nintendo game. Unless they decide to go back with Nintendo.
And yet no
or
one
if
cares about
Square
power.
or if Square forks over the rights to the character.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre how we own like 2 characters that people care about.
Should we
Maybe even one, because no one really cares about Marlowe. Thinking about it.
Should we talk about this though? This isn't a topic that I put down, but you showed me it like not too long ago, Andrew. They're making some kind of Banjo Connect game.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this.
That's what everybody wants.
That was
It definitely looks like some kind of.
They just want Banjo free.
yeah.
It definitely looks like some kind of like very, very, very unfinished looking like minigame or something.
Yeah.
I imagine it's probably not done yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't really understand where they're taking Banjo anymore. It's just like you have nuts and bolts, and that was drastically different from Kazooie and Tui, and now you have a freaking Kinect game. What is even happening anymore?
Mm.
We're gonna shoehorn them into as many things as we can. Quality be damned.
It just doesn't make any sense to me because
I think Microsoft is basically going to use Rare's stuff as a tease now. Like they did it with Conquer.
Rare secretly been disbanded, but the license belongs to Microsoft, so it's like, we need to make a bad game. Let's make Rare suck.
Yeah. So,
Well, we're making like
Honestly, even if at this point, even if Rare wasn't a Microsoft thing, it's not the same Rare that was around in the 90s, so there's no guarantee they'd even make good games under the helm of Nintendo.
We've never really made a bad game. Just,
the games
you know,
the games they've made with Microsoft, they're functional, they work, but the creativity
They're
is
not
gone.
fun.
The creativity is gone.
Things haven't really had a chance to be creative since Banjo.
Yeah, that's the
Since
thing.
Dream of Mignata,
They ju-
2.
They're just making like Connect Sports and whatever.
That's
Like-
because that's all that Microsoft is licensing quotations them to use.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the Battletoads game that they're definitely making is going to look like. Because that,
Oh
might
yeah,
as well just confirm that.
I forgot the Battletoads are appearing in the Xbox One version of Shovel Knight.
Yeah, for in Shovel Knight, Phil Spencer's wearing a Battletoads shirt, a registered trademark quote, a Battletoads trademark. We might as well just confirm it now. Unless
they
it was
showed
just
they
for
showed
Shovel Knight.
they showed a promotional image that Battletoads are showing up in Shovel Knight, and I think that's all they're there for.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I feel like they would make a new game because
I need to play Shovel Knight.
of what they're doing. It seems a bit too much effort just for a Shovel Knight appearance. I think.
I need to play Shovel Knight.
Yes, you do.
Because I've heard.
They put a lot of effort. They put a lot of effort into showing off Kratos for the PS4 version, and
Kratos of all people.
Yeah, why not?
Sony's mindset. We own Kratos, so let's shove him into literally everything that gets ported here.
So
Like golf.
Kratos basketball.
That would honestly be confirmed if Kratos shows up in Mortal Kombat X. Microsoft
Kratos
puts
actually worked
everything.
in combat, so you can't count it on that.
Oh no, but he was in Mortal Kombat 9, but if he shows up in Mortal Kombat X, it'll basically be confirmation that Sony wants to put him in as many things as possible.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
It was in Hot
So
Shot.
you have Sony's character, they get more money out of the copy sold.
What was the last God of War game that released?
Ascension.
Are they making a God of War 4? Is it, or the
It's
series?
been
just-
announced
I
that
don't
they're making
think
one for PS4. I'll Google that.
Because I swear the series is pretty much finished at this point.
Yeah, I think they aren't making any more.
They
are,
They're
I think
developing
they're
one for PS4, but they haven't announced anything for it.
Oh, they're making one for the PS4.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it
Then.
could be like a reboot or something. Because I don't know.
What's with
I
all
feel
the,
like what else could he do?
What's with all the reboots going on?
You know what? I want someone to make
It's for the same. It's for the same reason. It's for the same reason a reboot always happens, to introduce an old series to a new audience.
Yeah, I guess.
No, what I want them to do, anyone with anything like Tomb Raider, to say, is make a compilation disc, but it's the only way to get the new version of the game. But you can't just play the new version of the game. You have to complete all of the games before it to unlock the next game.
Ah.
Yeah, but that would people would complain about that. The that was a lot of the complaints I heard from a few people about the 2010 Splatterhouse game, including all the classic games. How you had to play through quite a bit of the game in order to get all of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to have
For
to.
sure, was a game where you have to like play through like the old one to get the new. Oh yeah, Mega Man the Wily Wars. Like you have to play through the first 3 games just to get to the new content.
Yeah,
you had to finish all 3. You had to finish Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 in order to play Wily Tower.
Yeah.
Wily Tower was really minimalistic and kind of bleh.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good idea to have to complete a game in a collection to like play the next game. It just
One thing I don't like is like unlocking other games in the collection. So to play the complete version of Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you have to play like all the games like 4 times or something. Not 4 times, like 30 times or something daft like that.
It's really Sonic Mega Collection and the Sonic collections in general, I found they're really specific when it comes to unlocking the other games, and it's just kind of silly.
Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection has some really weird criteria for unlocking certain games. Like some are fine. Like to get the good version of Altered Beast, you have to get I think like 100,000 points or something on the first level of the Genesis version. But then there's like for I can't remember what game, you have to get 5 special coins in Decap Attack.
Does it tell you what you need to do?
Yeah, they'll tell you. They'll tell you.
There's one where you need a second controller, so if you don't have a controller and you're screwed, you can't get that game.
Does it tell you in Sonic Mega Collection? Because, well, at this point I've gotten all the games. It's been years since I've had to do that.
If it doesn't tell you, it tells you how to get like things in the Mega Drive and Genesis Collection.
Does it tell you in Mega Collection or?
I don't think it does now.
That's kind of stupid.
And I have no idea because I've never played it.
Because I think Rystar's the hardest to unlock, and it's stupidly specific. I just want to play a game, guys.
Yeah.
Which is why if you want to play Rystar, you buy the Ultimate Genesis Collection because Rystar is unlocked from the start in there.
Yeah, that's what it should be from the get-go. You should just be able to play all the games on the collection. You didn't buy
like a majority of the games on the UGC are available. There's only about a handful that need to be unlocked.
Well, I think all the games should be unlocked from the start because you didn't get a collection to unlock the games. You bought the collection to play the games.
If most of them are unlocked from the start and I only have to unlock like none of the 12, then I'm usually fine with it.
I guess it kind of depends on the way you have to unlock them. Because if it's like really obscure, then that's when I have a problem.
Yeah.
You must eat 15 toad asses in this version of the game within this part of the level with no information about what the hell you're actually supposed to be doing before you actually do this, unless you've looked it up on Wikipedia, and then you have no life, but you'd have no life, and then that proves that other people have no life. And yeah, do that, and then you get the Super Deluxe version.
Do that, and you unlock Super Noah's Ark 3D.
Yeah, that's a game. And that's about all you can say about that game.
Yeah, pretty much.
What were we even talking about before? Because we kind of just went off track.
We were talking about relevant information that could actually be used.
No, I think we brought up the whole banjo thing, and then we just kind of railed off.
And then this happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm kind of happy that the old Rare staff are back making Project Ukulele. So hopefully some.
Hopefully it'll be
a lot of the old Rare staff anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be one of those like games where it's like made by old Rare staff, which is actually like memorable aside from Time Splitters. Because like a lot of like old Rare people make games and they say, oh, it's by ex-Rare developers, and the game itself isn't very good. Like Tengama.
Just because they're ex-Rare developers, you have to say when these guys worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's just from an ex-Rare developer, which era of Rare developers? There's actually been a lot of them.
Yeah.
It could also be the worst Rare developer of that era.
Exactly.
Like the intern of the the golden age of Rare.
I'm so glad that Sonic Boom came out, so people can be more cautious when people say ex-this developer.
Yeah.
Well, even that, I think that was more, they were developing a game that they weren't even entirely used to doing. That team was, plus that team was ex-Jack and Daxter. That should have been a bad sign to begin with.
You don't like Jack and Daxter either?
I haven't.
I like the first one to an extent, but that's it.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you there.
Like the second and third one.
Yeah, because like, from what I've seen, the first one looks okay, but the other two, well, the other games in general, just kind of look badly designed.
They're not actually that badly designed.
3 is boring. Like, that's
C
3's
was a
biggest
rubbish
problem,
sitter,
is that
which
it's
is like
just
a
boring.
maze.
Well, the thing with
He was my favourite.
I really didn't like 2 at all. 2 was just, like, at first I didn't like it just because, like, what they did to it and made it, like, tried to make it a Grand Theft Auto game. But then, the more I played it, I realised this isn't like Grand Theft Auto at all. This is just a mess of, like, platformer meets, like, being around in a maze, which is, I don't know, I just really don't like 2 at all. Nothing to do with it, it's literally just a waste of time.
well, Jack 2, from what I've heard, is just unfairly designed.
Yeah, Jack 2 was my least favourite.
It wasn't there like The Last Frontier or something.
Yeah,
Do you
that
not
was like
see
the
from
worst.
that game?
Yeah, that game looks terrible.
That game is terrible.
It's like it's pretty much Daxter's Werehog.
No, that would give it credit.
Daxter was a pretty good game.
Also,
Like, when Ready at Dawn actually made games.
game.
Isn't Daxter like a prequel to Jack 2?
Yeah, it's set between like because it's like in Jack 2 there's like there's like it's at the beginning like Jack gets kidnapped and it says 2 years later. Daxter is like what was like 2 years are.
Ah. Okay, so it goes to that intro cutscene and then Daxter and then Jack 2.
Yeah. That's a good game though. It's like when Ready at Dawn actually made games, which is pretty cool.
Which doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
How do you
Anyway, for Order bashing podcast. Doesn't
have
for Order 1886 look bad?
Have any of you completed Tropical Freeze? Like gone all of
Yeah.
the Kong letters and
I didn't
special
follow the
stages?
jigsaw pieces. I need to
I
do
haven't
that.
even finished it, let alone completed it.
It's the secret exits are really hard to find. I found.
They're pretty cleverly done. One of them which requires Dixie Kong and a level which doesn't give you Dixie Kong barrels.
I think
And that one annoyed me a little bit.
I think that's early in the game. That kind of stumped me for a little bit.
No, but that was a satisfying game to like do all the levels out. There's a lot of content in it for like those who want to like like do all the time trials and like do all the hard mode and all that.
Yeah, I'd say Tropical Freeze easily rivals Sonic 3.
What in like 2D platformers?
Yeah, I'm talking about 2D platformers. I want to say my favorites are Tropical Freeze and maybe Rayman Legends.
I feel like Tropical Freeze is like my favorite, like recently, maybe even like ever, because I can't think of a game which I like more than it.
Yeah,
It just has like a sense of adventure to it.
Yeah, it's definitely the most polished, one of the most polished 2D platformers you can find.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much, it's filled with creativity everywhere you go, which is really good.
All Donkey Kong Country serves, really right now, all Tropical Freeze serves as to me, is evidence that Retro can make good 2D games. So why the fuck have they not made a 2D Metroid game?
Well, apparently they're making Metroid games for both the 3DS and the Wii U at the moment.
Please don't make it another Prime game.
I don't know if like any specific news has been revealed, but there might be.
I know there was one Metroid game that was in development that was by the same guys that made Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
Yeah, it has like a graphic style sort of similar to Guacamelee a little bit.
Apparently,
And it probably would have. I kind of wish that game had come out, but it was cancelled.
Yeah, because apparently Dark Moon was in development for like since 2009 or something. So
I can sort of imagine that.
it,
Well, that's true, I don't know.
it,
I realised it came out in 2013, so...
Well, I can imagine like them trying to make it just right, considering how people see the first game now. So they probably didn't want to disappoint people.
And they still did, kind of. Most, from what I've seen, a lot of people that really liked the first game were like, yeah, the second one's alright.
I like the second. I like both games, but you'll have to get used to all the changes.
I only ever played the second one, so the only thing to get used to was just the game itself.
Because yeah, if you just go into it thinking it's just a completely different game, then you should be fine.
In a way, I kind of wish it kept it as like a one-off sort of game.
Maybe, but
I don't really mind. I don't know, I need to play the second one.
I kind of
Maybe we should release like a Wii U port or something.
maybe.
Or not.
You could just-
Kid Icarus needs one. Kid Icarus is like a game which needs like a Wii U re-release, I feel. Because it doesn't feel like it's designed for 3DS at all.
Uprising works on the 3DS. It's a bit weird, but it works.
I just feel like it's a game which is kind of held back on the 3DS a bit.
If the controls require you to be really quick, so.
I think the Circle Pad. I think the Circle Pad Pro helps out a bit with that.
You can use the Circle Pad Pro to like aim, but I thought it was just the left stick. I thought it was just for left-handed people.
I think you can use it to aim. I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I feel like I'm wrong, but we'll see.
I think Sakurai pulled out some bullshit excuse. Like, I don't know. I remember like seeing his excuse and I thought, well, that's like alleged bullshit. I'm not a developer, but if Kingdom Hearts and like Resident Evil and all that can do the Circle Pad easily, I don't know why Kid Icarus couldn't.
I think
Because it was on the 3DS.
it might.
Yeah, but they were on the 3DS as well.
Well, it could be that Sakurai just doesn't want to make it so. He has the game where to do a certain thing you have to get this peripheral or whatever.
Yeah. Plus, I think Kid Icarus was a bit earlier in the 3DS's lifespan than the others.
Actually, Kid Icarus came out after Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think Smash 3DS is really taxing on the 3DS because I think you can't go on the internet when you're playing the game.
Yeah, it has to reboot the home screen when playing Smash 3DS. Like if you go to the home screen when you're playing, it's gotta reboot.
So
I don't know. I wouldn't mind like Kid Icarus like getting like a HD like re-release. I think that game's like
It doesn't need to. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be an HD re-release. It just needs to be a re-release. I felt the same way about Wind Waker's HD re-release. It needed a re-release, but not an HD one because it still looks fine.
I'd still say Wind Waker HD looks really good.
Well, it does, but it didn't need to be HD.
Yeah.
Well,
I need to go
I
back to
say
that game.
HD realistic just mean like on the Wii U. That's what I mean.
Well, yeah.
I don't mean like graphics redone or anything. It can look like Monster Hunter on the Wii U. Like I don't really care about how it will look visually. Just when it like released, so I can play it on a console and fix all the issues.
I generally don't care about like the graphics of a game. I just care that it's actually fun to play.
Same.
What's everyone there?
I mean, if the game is just
If
impossible.
if only mainstream reviewers were that way.
What are you saying, Joe?
Well, graphics do matter to a certain degree, and I can find a way that you would care.
Yeah.
The graphical quality is so horrible that you can't even tell what you're doing to the point where you can't play the game.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but most games, no matter how bad they are, aren't that bad.
So that's really rare you'll find a game that graphically bad. Not even Superman 64, Bubsy 3D is that bad.
The Bubsy 3D was just lazy in its visuals.
Well, yeah, but it's not to the point where you can't tell what you're doing.
The game's just nauseating, bro. I can't play that game for too long because then I just get nauseated.
Did you actually get a cartridge?
No,
Oh.
because first of all, it's a disc game.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I didn't get a cartridge. I played it emulated.
Also, fun fact about Superman 64: you can not do the rings.
Really? Like you can't beat the game?
Yeah. Well, you can beat it. You just can't get the best ending. Which, I mean, it's Superman 64. Who really gives a shit?
What is the best ending?
There's multiple
I don't know.
endings.
Yeah. I don't. I think
Technically, yes.
I think everyone just used the level select cheat.
Most probably, yeah.
So I saw one guy that I think he was being the game legitimately, and I was just like, how much time do you have to waste?
Yeah, I think Proton John actually played through the whole game legitimately, but
Wow, I would not have the patience for that. So I
I
want
wouldn't even have the game.
I want to try. I
I
want to
own
try
the
the game
game.
at some point, but
it's really not worth trying unless you actually do bother. Unless you do turn on the easy mode and not do the rings, then it's kind of enjoyable. But you've still got to deal with that car shit.
well, I just want to try it out one time just for the lols and pretty much nothing else.
I'll see you at your funeral.
Psh,
Yeah, it's not really all that bad.
But if I don't
I mean, it's
take
bad.
if you don't take it seriously, then yeah.
I see.
I find
I think I remember seeing like a
find
game
it's-
trails list which listed it as like the worst game ever, and it's like it
What's
doesn't look like the
really-
worst ever.
It's not. It's really common, I find, for games that critics list as some of the worst games ever made to not really be all that bad. Like, E.T. is
ET
commonly
is
regarded
not
as the
it's a terrible game, but it's not like worst game ever.
like E.T. is regarded as the worst game of all time, and it is horrendous. But
No, the worst game of all
It's
time
not.
is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
no, because that game at least doesn't have a character to betray like Other M.
I don't even know what plumbers don't wear ties is.
Funner.
I'll send you a video after. I'll send you a video after this.
Okay.
Just send him the AVGN's video.
Yeah.
I was gonna send him the Retsupre one.
I'll send him back.
Okay, I'll watch both.
AVGN is good if you want him to talk about the game in general, and Retsupre is good if you want him to make fun of the whole thing all the way through.
Oh, send me that then.
Or at least most of the way through. It cuts off eventually, but it goes through a lot of the game.
But
Anyway, what
I remember
were we
seeing
talking
this
about?
like list of worst games ever, and like one of them was Zero Wing, and the reason was
Okay,
the translation.
Zero Wing. Yeah, that's all. That's all the really bad stuff in Zero Wing is the translation.
Zero Wing's a
Gameplay
fucking
wise,
great game.
yeah, gameplay wise, it's fine. I mean, it's not one of the best shoot 'em ups you'll ever play, but it's still
I love
good.
Well, I love like the
I
gameplay.
freaking
but
love shoot maps.
All your days belong to us.
That's literally it. And they're like, That's why it's like the 7th worst game ever according to Game Trailers.
Yeah, I enjoy.
I mean, like if we're talking based solely on translation, yeah, that game probably has some of the worst translation in video game history.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the game bad, it just makes the
What
game
about
fun.
I Am Error?
I am error. Maybe that's
No,
just his.
I'll tell you why that line in specific is the worst video game translation in history. Because it's not between any languages, it's a direct translation from text scripting of the game.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just his name.
Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's pronounced Eeyore. Maybe he's related to Eeyore somehow. No one thought of that joke.
Well, that wouldn't.
No one liked it.
That wouldn't really cross my mind. What were
My mind has now
If we
been-
want to talk about if we want to talk about some of the actual worst games ever made, you bring up like Metroid Other M, Dark,
Dark Souls?
Shania Twain, or Shannon Twade, Shannon Twade or whatever, Attack of the Groupies.
Ocarina of Time. Shadow of the Colossus.
Ocarina of Time is good, not the best Zelda game, but good. Shadow of the Colossus is also good. Eco is a pile of shit, though.
Ocarina of Time is a good game, but people.
The demo at least. I played the demo, I didn't play the actual
We're
game.
just listing critically acclaimed games that could have been better in certain regards. Minecraft.
Every-
Well,
Everything in-
Minecraft.
Okay, if we.
Minecraft is good for what it. Minecraft is good for what it is. Honestly, I think it's only got critically acclaimed because it got really popular.
Okay,
Had it
so-
not been popular, it would have not gotten the great reviews it did.
But let's be honest, if we're talking like every game that could be better than just every game ever made.
No, there are some games that are as good as they could be, and any attempt to improvement that has been made has made them worse.
Tetris?
I suppose, but every game.
Tetris is the best game ever because you can't improve it.
We can add things to it, but it doesn't
Yeah,
really
you
improve
can
it.
you can add different modes and stuff, but
I have seen the most gimmicky versions of Tetris out there, and half the time it just makes it worse.
I don't
It's
understand
even
why
at
like
level-
save and blocks should be enough.
mm,
Have you ever played like those Tetris games where it's like you can, if you find like a block that you like, you can save it and use it later? Like that's like
Should we?
that's just cheating.
Shall we bring up Tetris 2 and its dumb bomb shit?
I haven't played any of the Tetris games, so
Oh,
Like
who's,
You ever
Tetris,
played Tetris?
And that's it.
who's played Tetris for the PS1? Not the Atari one, the other one.
Play Tetris right
I
now.
haven't.
Freechat.org.
Oh, I will play.
I played the original Tetris on an emulator and then on an actual Game Boy, and that's my experience with Tetris.
I just don't really care for it that much. Like those like types of puzzle games don't really interest me. So
It's still the
Play
most
Dr.
perfect game ever, objectively
Yeah,
speaking.
you technically, yeah, Tetris is probably the best game ever made.
Like what floor is in Tetris? Also, if you take like anything out of Tetris, then you've ruined the game. It's such a like tightly made game.
yeah.
Now, if you want to know the best game ever made that isn't Tetris, so the runner-up, it's Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop game.
I was gonna say Super Metroid.
Now, my reason for Dungeons and Dragons being the second best game ever is because it's basically just a rule book that you build on top of.
Yeah, you're pretty.
And it's so accessible, anyone with the ability to write and roll dice can play it.
Yep, Dungeons
So about 10% of people.
and Dragons is pretty much just you're making the game.
Harry agrees, because
Wow.
I'm not even using the rule book and somehow playing it.
Wait, you're playing it right now, or?
No. You have to have two people to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I was about to say, because how would you be able to focus on that and the podcast?
You could internet it. Also, yes, I just used internet as a verb.
I don't care. I'm so horrible at the
Can't.
English language, it's ridiculous.
Okay, I have no idea where any of these secret exits are.
What game are you playing?
I'm playing Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, we've gone off topic, so what topic are we supposed to be on?
I don't even know.
What
Topic
topics
is
did we
nothing.
What were we even talking about?
We were talking about the best game ever.
Before that, before we went off topic.
I don't know.
Like the last week,
As an actual
I was
question,
AF.
did we ever talk about Majora's Mask 3D in a previous episode? I feel like we have, but I might be wrong.
we talked about Majora's Mask briefly, but is there anything you want to say specifically, or?
No, I'm just wondering because if we haven't talked about it before, we could do that.
But I need to get back to that game. I haven't played it in a while.
So do I. I just got to Woodfall the other day, and
I
I haven't had a chance to play it because most of the last couple of days for me have been sleeping.
I'm just waiting for another Ramble Express podcast episode 6 to occur. Where where there is so little going on, we just play video games.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That almost happened like during this period because the only reason we're recording this right now is because at one stage I was just having a shower and then I just had a bunch of random ideas for the podcast. So I was just like, why not?
You know, that's actually universally known as the best place to have ideas. The shower or the bath or things like that.
Well, if life has taught me anything, the garage is also a really good place for stuff.
No, the garage tends to be the best place for making things.
Well, I'm constantly trying to think of new topics, and considering not many games and stuff are being released at the moment, it's kind of hard.
I like the boss. The bosses are good for me.
So I feel when like games start releasing, we'll have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, or when just events happen.
Yeah.
It's like nothing has happened.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The only thing that's really happened over the last week was Order 1886 came out and it sucked, and none of us played it.
Really? No.
Well,
Miami 2, is anyone into that?
Well, things do happen in real life, but why would you listen to us to hear about real life news?
Things don't happen in video games, which is things that are actually worth talking about on the podcast. Nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Like 2014 was an eventful year.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing actually happened, but it was still eventful.
There are some gems in 2014, but they were really far in between.
There are some I'm not going to mention because the mere mention of them gets you screwed over on the internet, but yeah.
I'm trying to think now, just so I can mention them and screw us over. Because
Well, no, it'll screw you over because you're the one who mentioned it. If I just allude to it, I'm fine.
If you go on YouTube and search up my account, even I can't find it. The only people who know about my account are the people who I've linked it to.
Well, I just put in Diamond Key and I always find you, so...
I actually tried that and I couldn't find it. I found a load of crappy music.
Well, it might be because...
If you put a space in my username, you'll find a couple of rap songs.
What? I need to try that now.
You're going to do it.
It's really interesting how much results can change just by adding or removing a space.
Yeah.
Like just searching without it, we get Phantom, Kobe Bryant's vicious reverse dunk.
What?
I need to find this now.
I need to see this now.
So, Phantom's vicious what?
Just search vicious Phantom, but with a space in the middle, and you'll find all of this.
That's amazing.
Oh my God! Here's another NBA video. Phantom, Eric Bledsoe's reverse windmill dunk.
What? These names are weirdly specific.
Blame the NBA.
Alright. I can't spell vicious.
Curtis-
Okay.
Curtis Scott getting twirly on the G-Mac and Phantom.
I know I have to head off because I'm gonna do some work and I've been distracted a bit by this.
Oh, okay.
So I'll speak later
Goodbye.
or tomorrow or whenever.
Oh.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna try doing this YouTube thing.
Here, I'll link to it just because.
Okay, see you.
Oh yeah, I see it.
There's a video with a monkey for a thumbnail.
Alright, let's.
Vu Davis Band plays Phantom Woman at Ground Zero in Clarksdale, MS.
I found vicious
It's
recordings.
basically a basketball play.
Yeah, I found Kobe Bryant's vicious reverse dunk.
Yeah.
I found vicious recordings. Phantom
That's freaking awesome.
Phantom mod by Hellcat, Cyclone, Atomizer by Vicious Ant, Pear Hong Small. I don't even know.
Tank battle in the Strings in parentheses Phantom Tank on TV Boy 2 Atari 2600 Clone 4 Ultimate Victory appears on the 3rd page.
Phantom is pissed at Vicious.
I'm
I
seeing
noticed
that.
that. Vicious hand-to-hand combat in Fallujah.
This is so weird. What even?
Oh, I found a Metal Gear Solid 5 video.
I'm gonna try doing my user with spaces.
Vicious cat attack on Italian rhythmic gymnasts.
What?
GG Google GG.
I need to see this. I need to watch this video. What the hell? It's the London 2012 Olympics too.
English lyrics of Phantom Ice.
Yeah, I noticed that one.
This is like that one time when Joey thought you said Big Mac's quest to get nailed or something.
Well, it was pretty close to what I said.
Expect to find NSFW content. You don't actually find NSFW content for searching it.
That was pretty funny though.
So yeah, if you want, here's the vicious cat attack on Italian rhythmic gymnasts.
This is going to be amazing.
That was something. Longboarding, kicking it Kentland style. More Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh my god, this
Okay.
is so...
Can I just point out how this is probably the best title for any video ever? Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, Gamescom 2014, cardboard box gameplay.
Okay, what's the what?
Do we even have any topics?
We do, but we're
Nope.
just messing around. What was the cat video
Okay,
called?
you heard it here. We're not even trying.
What was the cat video called again?
Vicious cats
I sent a link to it.
gymnasts.
Wait, what?
I sent a link to it.
I am
Well,
watching this.
I'm watching through the Wii U, so.
Dota 2, Slark versus Phantom Assassin, one-click battle.
What was the cat video called?
Let me open the link again.
Right, so we're gonna get a copyright strike now.
It's the vicious cat attack on Italian rhythmic gymnasts.
It's now number 5 in the all-time most popular YouTube videos charts.
There's one comment on the video, and it's from a guy named Muzak Life. He says, "OMFG, the cat is hilarious." It's all like, "Let me have the balls, lol."
But there were... Oh wait. Filthy-minded person alert.
Okay, I'm gonna see this video.
More Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay.
What are we even doing?
I found Assassin's Creed Unity gameplay.
When are we gonna find
The Lion King?
When are we gonna find the clips from the Phantom Menace?
I'm surprised you haven't found that.
I found the Phantom of the Opera.
That's the other thing that I was expecting that didn't remember.
Oh, I found something that actually has me in it, finally, on the 6th page of results. On the very first Nintendo Alliance podcast.
Nice. I remember it like it. Wait, how did I remember it at all?
That was 11 months ago.
Oh.
It's been almost a year since I did that.
How often do they do the podcasts?
So we're pretty much shutting down the thing. We don't have enough time to dedicate to actually updating it, so it's probably done at this point.
Oh, okay.
Though they are, most of them are doing Chaos Controlled commentaries and updating that fairly regularly.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll ever be in those, but they are.
Well, that cat video was a thing.
It
I
wasn't
found
like
music from
it was
I found
cute.
music from Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
Okay. What I got to find? How'd you found?
I found a guy named Vicious Turtle.
Scary.
I'm gonna come at you
Come up.
really slowly.
Vicious Turtle meets Vicious Phantom. That should be a
I
thing.
found Phantom TV.
I found Kobe Bryant's first dunk of the season in slow-mo.
Oh, I found a Nintendo Alliance podcast as well.
I'm not even looking anymore.
NBA.
What?
Can we get on with the podcast?
I'm gonna mention one more. Very bottom of the 7th page of results. Uploaded by somebody named Kaiku Kitty. Vicious beating of young fellow. Hate crime? Question mark?
I'm gonna look at this.
I don't even know. How do you even respond to this?
I don't know. But then when I take the space out of my name, I'm right there.
How does that even work?
You find really old horrible things. You find really old horrible things that I did.
Oh man.
The
Imagine telling someone about your channel and then putting a space there and just finding all this.
Oh my god, that would be ridiculous.
I don't even know. I'm probably just gonna.
No, see, there's not supposed to be a space there.
I'm probably just gonna put a picture over that just to avoid copyright. Where even were we?
I don't.
We've done the first topic on the list. Can we get to the second one?
What was the second topic?
What is this? Well, you're.
They're on the Skype chat.
Oh, great. That's helpful.
The second one was the Happy Mask Salesman, which we talked a little bit about.
Well,
Paper Mario's been.
There's not really much about that to say. They might do masks again.
The Sonic 25th
well,
anniversary.
Well, the thing of the Happy Mask Salesman, we don't know if they mean like a new, just Zelda Wii U or a completely new game we haven't seen before. So maybe they might make Grezzo. They might let Grezzo make their own Zelda game now, considering they have experience with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D. So maybe they're making a continuation of Majora's Mask with like the 3D engine.
Maybe.
By the way, for those who care, I'm playing Red Faction 2.
I've only ever played Red Faction Guerrilla.
Now, Red Faction 2 is a first-person shooter. It's actually pretty good. Although, if you want to get it off Steam, you're gonna have to do a load of bullshit to get it to work.
I can kind of see the Happy Master Salesman being in the Wii U as like more of a Ocarina of Time kind of way, because I don't think they're gonna make like transformation masks the main thing in that game, or just masks in general. Just if he's in the Wii U game, it's probably gonna be a lot more small.
Yeah.
It'll be
Also, quick thing for anybody who cares. I don't know if it'll be still going when this video goes up, but at the time of this recording, on the Twitter account for Comixology, there are a bunch of codes going up for free comics on their site.
Well, I try to get these videos up as soon as I can, but it takes a long time to render all of these, considering the length.
They should still be available by like tomorrow. So.
Yeah, it really depends on how fast I can render these, because it takes like half a day sometimes.
But in any case, at least the people that are here can redeem those codes like I'm doing right now.
Let's go back to Donkey Kong Island. Anyways, should we
Can I just point out that there is a comic named Bitch Planet?
What?
Nope. Not even gonna. Just gonna.
Really not
just gonna go away from that.
Okay then.
Just not that surprised, to be general.
Should we talk about the Sonic 25th anniversary game or whatever?
There's gonna be one?
Well,
probably.
The thing with Sonic, they usually have an anniversary game every 5 years. That's what...
Sonic Speed.
It's like, the 5th anniversary was Sonic 3D Blast. Yeah. 10th was SA2, 15th was 06, and 20th was Generations.
15th was not only 06, but it was also Sonic Riders.
And Genesis, I guess.
Yep. All of Sonic didn't have a good 15th anniversary. It was over 3 that year.
I do have a guilty pleasure with Riders though.
I think Zero Gravity is miles better.
I need to play that. I just need money, to be honest.
I also have to give Free Riders credit for being the only Kinect game I could ever get to work.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to play Free Riders.
It's not really worth it. It's not a good game. I just was able to get it to work because I'm lucky.
If I somehow become rich or something, then maybe I'll get a Kinect and a 360 for it, but that's at this
Really
point.
not worth it. What's funny is that Free Riders could have been a really good game had you just been able to use the controller.
Yeah, that's my problem with it.
Hard mode games used to be tough as nails. Because I'm playing this on hard mode, and it's like insane mode for most modern games. It's like 3 shots to death.
The thing with a lot of hard mode in games now is that it's just, oh, here's like a barrage of enemies every 10 seconds or something.
And they
especially in first-person shooters.
Yeah, that's not. For me, that's not actually making the game harder. It's artificially making it harder, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 3 had a hard mode. They called it, I can't remember what they called it, like phase-on mode or something. And it wasn't harder. The bosses just had way more health.
Yeah, that's the problem I find with like hard mode in games. It's not actually harder. It's just they add something like that.
Yeah. Also, another really good example of hard mode. Hard mode in FTL. That is soul crushing. Even on easy, FTL is pretty damn difficult, so... It's an amazing game. Play it. You fool. Be prepared to have your ass handed to you. I suggest playing on easy. There is no shame in it because it's still really fucking hard on easy. It is, but it's fun hard. It's like, shit, I died. I gotta try again. Yeah, there is no evidence as to what missions are people that legitimately need help or people that are just pirates waiting to ambush you. There is one that's usually fake, though. Whenever they're like, giant alien spiders, more often than not, I find that one is a trap. Pretty much, because sometimes your crew will just go insane and try to kill you. Yes. Everybody starts out in FTL being awful. It takes some learning, but it's not a really steep learning curve. Once you get, like, the way all the systems work and everything, you'll be fine. The way I'd see it, just a regular platformer. I don't give a shit if you go back to the adventure formula or do the boost again or do something new. Just give a platform. Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care how they do it, so long as it is good and a platformer. Yeah. Well, because I feel like they're trying to figure out an exact identity gameplay-wise for the series. They've had good luck with a lot of things, but have never been able to get it just right. Yeah. I'd say Colors did it a bit better because they didn't have, like, they didn't throw boost energy at your face all the time. Up until Adabat, because that's when those start getting bad. Anyway, that topic was over fairly quickly.
Hmm.
If you could tweak, there aren't a lot of things in Heroes that I can pinpoint that are bad. I just feel like it needs a lot of tweaks done to it to be a really good game. Yeah, although I'd personally rather see a game based on Silver. Well, I feel like even if they did, for that type of gameplay, there was no standard when that game came out. Even if Sonic 06 had been polished like nothing else and was considered one of the best Sonic games ever made, I feel like Silver's gameplay would be more or less the same. A lot of people compare it to like, why isn't it like Force Unleashed? And it's for a couple of reasons. One, that game came out later. Two, I'm pretty sure the developers didn't know how to take advantage of the Xbox 360's hardware to make gameplay like that at the time. Except it probably would have been good. I really enjoyed that game up until that point, and then I hated it. Yes, I've attempted to get past that section multiple times, but it's just it hasn't happened. They had it as a QuickTime event in the PS2 version, so it's way better. Because that's near the end of the game, so. It's way better than the HD version. I don't think so. Shattered Dimensions and Edge of Time had DS ports, and they were 2D side scrollers from what I've seen. I don't think so. It might have been, but I don't know. Because they're probably the superior versions. Anyway, so we can actually have something real quick to talk about. I want to find a particular image that I found a couple of days ago. You probably have to throw it up on the screen. But there, this promotional image for World Unite. If you want Sonic related stories, you read the comics. There's a couple of places you could start. It's totally feasible to start just at the very beginning, but I wouldn't suggest doing that, as from the beginning up until Endgame, so about 50 issues, is complete garbage. Endgame is really good. After Endgame, everything that I've read, which is up to issue 69, is garbage. It doesn't start getting consistently good until issue 160, when Ian Flynn gets on the book. You could also start at issue 252, which is when the current universe started, which gives you 18 issues to catch up with. If you've watched the show, you've essentially read the comics. It's the same style of humor and situations. Yeah. I haven't been regularly buying Boom, if only because the way I feel about Boom, it's good in like large chunks. Like I haven't been watching Boom as the episodes air. I gather up a bunch of recordings, like a few weeks worth of recordings, and then I marathon all of those. And then I wait a few more weeks for a bunch of episodes to gather together, and then marathon those, so on and so forth. And they're every Saturday here, so. Maybe. Anyway, that promotional image I found a couple of days ago. And they started, when they first showed it, it was just Sonic and Mega Man, and the rest were in black silhouette. And then every week, I think, they revealed a few more characters until we finally got this.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to extend the podcast, I've got another topic. The relationship between viewers and YouTube users. Yeah.
Yeah, but for the foreseeable future, YouTube as a job is usually a fine idea if you have the consistent viewership to pull it off anyway. I'm doing it, and I've only got within the last. I think I've been doing it for like 6 months. I haven't even made like $30, and I still haven't gotten a cent of it because Full Screen has a $50 like border, so they don't pay you until you've made $50. And if that month's cycle finishes and you haven't made $50 yet, then they add it into like this cumulative thing. And once you've made $50 overall, then they give that to you. Yeah. It'd be like the best job ever.
Not for me, because I really don't care about YouTube.
Which is why it's a very rocky job to try to keep. PewDiePie. I remember, I can't remember who, but it was probably Game Theory, calculated that PewDiePie, it's very possible that he makes more than the president does. Because despite being the person who runs the entire friggin' country, the president doesn't make a whole lot of money.
Well, my other point is you can have YouTube as a job if it's really the only thing you can do, but YouTube isn't going to be there forever. I give it maybe another 40 years before it's down.
Well,
So
most people
anyone
that have,
who's
most
using it
people
to
that
get
have
decent-
YouTube as a most people that have YouTube as a job now, 40 years later, they are on retirement, and so it doesn't matter.
Well, these guys at the moment, fine, but any kids that are like, oh, I'm going to go get a capture card when I'm like 15 and is, yeah, no. Well,
Yep.
I was doing.
I think we've officially run out of.
No, we
so
haven't
should-
officially run out of ideas. I was just under heavy fire, and I'm still under heavy fire.
Well, we've.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, that's why a lot of people do. That's why a lot of people do YouTube, but they also have like a retail job.
Well, another thing, if any representatives of YouTube are listening, can you please try and make it easier to make YouTube a pliable job? Just know what I mean. Yeah, pretty much. Who was it? It was like, anyway, it was this animating guy on YouTube who, Joe Apocalypse, that's the one, where he made the how to YouTube tutorial thing.
Welcome to
And
YouTube.
at the end of it, he made the joke that the YouTube layout changed and that his video was completely useless. And pretty much, yeah. Oh yeah, you can actually access YouTube's code, as in the entire server's edit code, from just using your browser. That's how bad their security is.
That happened recently with Sega and E-License. E-License was putting copyright claims, or rather content matches, on videos that just contained Sega content. And so many videos had been affected, Sega was like, E-License is acting of their own accord, we're doing our best to get this stopped. And then like 1 or 2 days later, the claims had pretty much completely disappeared. It hit most of the parts of Sonic Adventure that I was uploading that were going up at the time. They didn't affect the channel majorly, all they did was stop me from monetizing them, but it's still a thing. Some things are just really weird and they got copyrighted for no real reason. Like, if you upload, or in my experience, if you upload a video, like a Castlevania Symphony of the Night video, it's always going to be blocked in Germany because of the game's soundtrack. And they're only ever blocked in Germany, and it's only ever Symphony of the Night, never anything else. Probably because you were talking over it. Nah, I feel like we should probably just end it at this point.
Yeah, we should probably end it. How much? What time are we at?
Yeah, I think that's a decent time.
Yeah. That's like standard for us, so we don't drag it on. We didn't really have any topics. I mean, we had topics, they just weren't topics as such.
They just weren't good.
Yeah. So we'll next upload in maybe 5 years when there's some interesting stuff to talk about, and we'll upload a 24-hour video.
Yeah. Because we'll have forgotten to do it for everything else, and then all the controversies happened.
Yep.
So we'll see you when Capcom owns the gaming industry.
Because that's going to happen.
Look, knowing the gaming industry's luck, that's very possible. Yeah, pretty recently. They almost went under. They just barely survived. I don't know. I know that people are concerned about Nintendo's like stock prices going down over the last like couple of years, but these guys have banked up so much money they could lose $500,000 a year and survive till 2050. So
that's Game Theory's information. They did.
They might have mentioned it, but I know I had heard about it.
They did the math in an episode where they were talking about the Wii U and why it's the worst console ever.
And then right after that, all the big selling games came out, and that video was null and void.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Well, I mean, at the time they were kind of at the time they were right. The Wii U didn't have a lot of games that were worth buying the system for. There were a couple of good ones, but they were usually ports of something else. I think they only did that because the Virtual Boy is Nintendo's only real failure as a console. Had there been another that was not as great, then they probably wouldn't have compared it to the Virtual Boy. Yeah.
And to be fair, if you think about it, the Wii U is doing much better than the Xbox One and PS4.
Well, yeah, but that's because the Wii U's been out longer, so it's had time for price drops and for more games. Which makes the
Microsoft's last price drop was with completely removing Kinect to literally lose maybe £100 or dollars or whatever.
Yeah, they dropped $150 from that, and that upped their sales a little bit, but not a whole lot. Yeah, and it seems like the Wii U is pretty much going to be on top for the next while, because of the major releases we've seen for the PS4 and Xbox One. The only ones that are really interesting are Arkham Knight and Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't doubt that we'll probably get some announcement of something within the near future, but at the recording of this video, March 15th, 2015, those are the only two games that really look interesting.
Because everything seems to be happening today. No, seriously, a lot of things are actually happening today, it's just nothing worth talking about.
Nothing that matters to us.
No, I'm talking like everyone seems to be uploading videos today.
Anyway.
I mean, it's just today everyone's uploading something.
Yeah. Yesterday was the day of updates, didn't you know?
The age of the update has begun. Rejoice, people! You'll finally get to know what people are actually doing. Not much. Yeah.
Probably. Hopefully there will be, though.
TTFN. White Tilk's
GTFO.
Jaffa Cakes. White Tilk's Jaffa Cakes and Daring Do books.
And read the Sonic comics.
No, I didn't forget, I just didn't say it.